Now, back by popular demand, it's the Lance Roberts Show.
And welcome to the Black Sheep of the Lance Roberts Show. We need a sheep sound effect. I'm Rich Rosso here with Danny Ratliff, and welcome to Financial Fitness Friday. Just get you started on the day with some funny and some serious financial tips. Maybe you can pester your broker later if he's around or she's around overall. So welcome. And, one of the things that we always look at during the week is all these different studies that come out from various organizations about, how much money do you need to make? One of the more popular ones, Danny, is how much money you need to make to be happy. Right?
Oh, man.
It's like $70,000. No, but I think it's like $70,000 or something like that. That defines happiness.
Well, it is until you get there, and then you need 100, and then you need 120, and then, it's a revolving door.
Well, there's another one out from Statista. Ooh, I like that. I'd name it. If I had another daughter, I'd name her that. Statista Rosso. How much would you have to earn in a year in the U.S. before you're considered rich? So what the research found is that the American public considers an annual income between $90,000 and $100,000 necessary to be deemed rich. You mean I want to let some people know that it's actually 70%. So this was a survey that was carried out in September 2018 and found that 76% of respondents think an annual income of $10,000 constitutes being poor. Well, yeah. And that label does get shaken off once yearly earnings hit $30,000, with half of the population saying someone in this income category is neither rich nor poor. So I guess there's also a little bit of a sense of division whether that $90,000 paycheck makes someone rich or poor. So that's a majority of people that they were respondents, 56%. If you earn $100,000 or more, you are rich. I mean, that was sort of the dividing line. So,
well, I think you got to put this all in perspective. One, I mean, look, it's not about how much you make; it's about how much you save at the end of the day, right? Because what's the end goal for all of us working? Right. Hopefully you do something like we do that you love and you enjoy. But at the end of the day, it's to retire, to be able to spend time doing things you really want to do, hobbies, spend time with family, loved ones, charity.
Well, and you have other goals too. You have college costs. You have what do we call them? These financial life benchmarks that you're trying to hit. But I think more important than that, Danny, even though there are goals, is just that waking up every day, that distress of being financially vulnerable, like being one paycheck away from being kicked out of your apartment or something. And I've lived like that for a long time when I was younger, and that's a horrible feeling. But you don't even care about saving for retirement or anything else.
But I could make that argument that it doesn't. And honestly, I know people that make 7 figures a month that live just like that. Now, they may have all these fancy cars and nice homes, but they've spent so much money that
it is what you, to your point.
Yeah, it is what you have in the bank account, where if they missed a paycheck, they'd be out on the street.
Because they live up to that, whatever they're making. They're not living below their means, or they're, like you said, they're not building buffers. Maybe they don't have a plan.
Hey, I'm sure it's a heck of a time, right? You're probably having a lot of fun, but man, I couldn't live with that stress.
I couldn't either. And I think that's your what we call the money script of just how you're brought up depending upon what you think about money.
Yeah.
So if you really want all the latest stuff and you're going to really live to your max based on what you make, you're going to be financially vulnerable regardless, to your point, which is a good point. Also, it also depends on, I think, where you live.
That's a big part of it. If you live in New York City or you live in out here in East Texas, it's a big difference.
Yeah, I mean, I'm living in California or in New York City. Forget that $90,000 paycheck.
Yeah, you're done.
So I think what Danny said is right. How rich is depending upon you. How rich is depending upon how much money you've got left after your bills are paid. And that, to me, is an empowering feeling, knowing that, hey, I paid all my bills. I paid myself first, right? I put money away. I have a decent emergency cash reserve, 3 to 6 months. I'm doing all the right things, and I'm not stressed. And whether I'm making $50,000 or $200,000.
Yep.
$200,000. And it was funny sometimes I'll challenge people when I talk to them, I say, well, there was a point that you were making 50. Now you're making $300,000 a year, and congratulations. But can you live the same?
Yeah.
Can you live the same? Do you have to upgrade your lifestyle? Why were you unhappy before? You know, and if you are going to upgrade, don't go right to the max, right? Take like maybe the next baby step up to your point to live below your means and look at happiness outside of what money is going to buy for you, the consumerism that is so ingrained in all of us.
Well, it's like you and I've talked about for years that people look at, they buy payments, right? And it's
That's a good point.
It's when you go get a mortgage, think about this, is that I'll have people come back and say, man, I'm approved for $1 million mortgage. It's like, well, that's fantastic. Do you need $1 million home? Have you thought about all the incidentals that are going to come with this, the expenses?
I love that one.
People want to go out and get as much as they can afford. When in reality, I mean, you're super conservative on this. I think you're even more conservative on how much you should spend on a home than probably I am.
I am very conservative with that because I don't look at a house as an investment. I enjoy it. I mean, I like having a house.
Yeah.
But to your point, we set these guardrails, and I know some of them seem draconian, but it's no more than 2 times your gross salary. Yeah, I went back and looked at a lot of the clients over the last 20 years and looked at the ones that were most successful, the ones that had smaller homes, and then I thought about the engagement ring rule.
Yep.
What is it? 1 month? How many months of salary?
I think it's 1 or 2 months of
whatever.
salary.
So
I didn't go by that.
Yeah, so I figured 2.
Sorry, honey.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Michelle. I figured 2 times your gross income seems really reasonable. What your payment would be as far as a percentage of income, and so if you and your wife or your husband or your spouse, your significant other make $50,000 each, that's $100,000. Your mortgage can't be more than $200,000. And people go, oh, well, maybe that's giving you a lesson, right? Well, what kind of a down payment am I going to need to come down to? Yeah, might take you a while. But hey, listen, you got to have rules, right, Danny? You do. When it comes with your money, you've got to have rules. Lance talks about this all the time. Rules when you buy, rules when you sell, rules when you save. It's rules, 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 rules. Sorry. I hate to talk about rules on Friday. Hey, so you're listening to Financial Fitness Friday. When we get back, we're going to go through the 5 financial myths you should ignore. And again, you're listening to FFF, Danny and Rich, on 700 KSEV, the voice of Texas. We'll be right back.
Catch the Lance Roberts Show anytime, day or night, online at lancerobertshow.com.